Hello, how are you? This is Master Joe Ching. Today I'm going to discuss with you something that is quite a common practice in the Chinese community, especially in places like or in countries like Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan. Alright, where people actually pick a good 八字 for their C-section birth. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about what you really need to know about the procedure of 八字 C-section birth. Okay? So, some important considerations and no that I would like to share with you based on my past experiences. So let me begin. You see, actually, when it comes to baby C-section, when I have to pick a good 八字 for the child, to me it is a very onerous kind of job because the responsibilities are pretty heavy because you are dealing with a life, basically. Whether the newborn, whether this person in future is going to lead a good life or not, it really depends on you. So, put it this way, you have to, be very, very careful, okay, in what you're doing, all right? And do not just do a frivolous job, okay? So, if you're not confident, please do not take up this job because I believe that if you do not do well, there's going to be a backlash on yourself. Basically, talking about karmic actions, okay? So, when it comes to 八字 baby C-section, consideration number one is that, of course, first thing first, I'll ask the client when you come to me, is it a boy or is it going to be a girl? Why? Because, of course, the consideration factor differs. You see, if it's a baby boy, usually my focus will be more towards career because he's going to be next time the breadwinner, and as a man he has to shoulder the responsibility of the house, provide for the spouse, provide for the children. So I have to make sure that he has good career luck. Well, I'm not saying that women need not have good career luck, but usually, traditionally, from a traditional Chinese point of view, women usually focus more on relationship or marriage. Of course, you can tell me that, no, I don't want my baby girl or my daughter next time to be over-reliant, heavily depending on the spouse. Please let her be a career woman as well. Then, of course, I'm going to tell you that there'll be a little bit of compromise on the relationship because when you want to be very career-driven for a lady, we have to put in or place more emphasis on the career star. All right. Nevertheless, I will still make sure that the marriage is not compromised. At least you have a good husband, a responsible husband that still take care of you and the family. All right. And when we're talking about good career luck, I have my own way of doing things. You see, the star that talk about career, especially if you want to, for boys especially, if you want to climb the corporate ladder next time, okay, and eventually rise through the rank and file to become a senior management position, I focus a lot on certain 八字 stars, and one of them, of course, is the direct officer star or the 7 killing star. All right, so this is an example, Barack Obama 八字, and he has a direct officer there. And this is actually a very famous Singaporean singer, an artist, that is also very, very famous in the Mando pop scene, J.J. Lin. Okay, so he has actually achieved success, achieved good fame, achieved good reputation, and has also won many accolades in the music scene. Okay, sorry. And again, you see that he has this direct officer star there. In fact, he has more than one in his chart. Next, we have the son of Li Ka-shun, Richard Li Ba Zi. Okay, so he also has a direct officer star there. I'm not saying that direct officer star is the one and only star that we need to have in order to be successful. Nevertheless, since ancient time, when it comes to deciphering Ba Zi, okay, the ancient masters actually focus a lot on Kuan. Another one, of course, is Ying. Or you can say that there are actually three very important stars in the Ba Zi, Cai, Guan, Ying, that we need to focus on. And Guan is, of course, one of the very important stars versus even money star, that we have to put the emphasis on. And I'm looking at, chart like this where you have Guan, where you have Ying, the resource star, together. So usually, okay, this is a bit of my trade secret, but I can share with you. Usually, we want the person to have a very high Ba Zi structure, and we focus on such star. Because traditionally, people who want to become a politician, ministers, get into imperial court, all right, they look at the Guan and the Ying. And when we talk about lady, my focus for them is, to be frank, I've seen so many ladies client. 80% of my clientele are all women, and no matter how successful they are, ultimately they want to have a shoulder to lean on. Okay, I have very successful, capable career women that actually came in for Ba Zi consultation and then cried because of relationship, because of broken marriage. So to me, I need to make sure that for a woman, sorry for being a bit old school, but I believe ultimately we have to take care of the romance, the marriage aspect. So therefore, it is important that we need to make sure that for a woman, the spouse star is of good quality. So what is the meaning of good quality? This one I will discuss further in class, because we have to look at whether the chart belongs to a strong chart, a weak chart, or a special category chart, before we can tell you whether your spouse star is of good quality. Nevertheless, spouse star should be present. And of course, another dimension to look at is the spouse palace, which is this one, where it is below your day master. So normally in the Ba Zi calculation for C-section, for especially baby girl, I cannot compromise on these two. Okay? That means the spouse star need to be good, the spouse palace need to be good. Let me move on. Consideration number 2. Ability to study. Especially in Singapore, it is extremely competitive. I have 2 children, school-going children, and I know that how tough is it, to be first of all, learning, all right, all the school syllables. It is quite advanced compared to my time, 30 years ago, or more than 30 years ago when I was in primary school. Okay. Second thing is that the children nowadays are also facing competition from foreign talent. Let's put it very frankly. So, it is quite tough if you have to always push your kid to study, and you have a kid that do not want to study, that is really, really very stressful for the parents. So I'm just showing you a few charts. For example, this is the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, Ba Zi. In order for a child to be able to study, I look at resource star. Okay, but of course, resource star is not the only star that talks about study, but Generally, resource star, the quality of this star, or 正印偏印, talks about how well you can absorb information, how well you can analyze academic problem, okay, and how well you can focus on studying. So this star plays a very important role in your 八字. We have late Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's 八字. Okay, so look at it, you see. There's one direct resource, two direct resource, and another direct resource star in his chart. So again, resource star. And of course, we know that how smart, how intelligent, how wise is the founding father of Singapore, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. Okay, he's of course very renowned lawyer in the past, but he has also become the Prime Minister of Singapore at a very young age. Bill Clinton, law professor, okay, former USA president, very, very intelligent, okay, and in this case, we are looking at hurting officer star. Because in the study of 八字, there are two thinking star, either resource or output star. So of course, besides hurting officer, we can also look at the eating god star, alright? And we have the chief exec of Hong Kong, the president chief exec. And you see, she also has 1, 2, and 1 more. Of course, the hour, we are not too sure, but based on some reverse engineering, I suspect that this one is her hour pillar. May or may not be, but at least she has this very strong output star. So for women, actually having an output star here, especially hurting officer in the man pillar, man branch, is not very good when it comes to marriage. Nevertheless, she's a career woman, very career driven. You see, she's the chief exec. But does she really have time for the family? I mean, you judge for yourself, okay? But if you want to find out more about what happens if you have hurting officer star in your year, in your month, in your spouse palace, you may wish to subscribe to enroll into our Golden Verses online course. Later on, I will show you the slide, okay? I can share with you, it is actually a compromise on marriage to have hurting officer star here. First thing first. Okay, consideration number 3. We also want the child, when the child is born, to be close to both parents, to have good affinity with parents. We don't want the moment the child is born, after a few years, the father pass away first or the mother pass away first. We know that there are such cases. We say that this type of child, unfortunately, the ancient master will say that hak lou dao hak lou mou ke lao gong, ke lao dou ke lao mu alright, a Chinese saying where you counter your father, counter your mother. We don't want this to happen, and therefore I'm using a Cameron Diaz 八字. You can read from the Wikipedia. She actually comes from quite a harmonious family. So my focus when I'm designing the 八字, when I'm calculating the 八字 for your child, we actually look at the father palace and the mother palace as well, to make sure that it is not compromised. So that when your child, is born, he or she will also have a good relationship with you guys. Okay, it's very important that when he grow older, and of course you guys grow older, he or she will continue to be filial to you guys. This is a negative example. Leon Lai, one of the very famous singer actors from Hong Kong. If you look at his 八字, his first 2 pillars, actually there's this thing called the 天克地冲, or in 八字jargon we call it the 反营. 反营 means there's a clash at the earthly branch, and there's a clash at the heavenly stem. And if you read the Wikipedia, you know that the father and mother actually got divorced when he was a small child, I think before 5 years old, around there. Okay, so we do not want this to happen. So we do not want the 八字 to have clashes. Of course, we want the child come out to be reasonably healthy, and not when we are designing the 八字 for the baby. Health is actually something that you should not compromise. We don't want a child that came out to be so-called handicapped in certain way. Okay, worse still, you have to go in and out of hospital when the child was very small. First thing first, I will always want to avoid all these 6 clashes. 子午冲, 丑未冲, and in any part of the chart. Because 子午冲, just to share with you, usually relates to blood cardiovascular issue. 丑未 is stomach, sometimes can be cancerous. 寅申 is limb, 卯酉 酉卯, next time can lead to, for women, your cyst and fibroid, gynecological issue. 辰戌 stomach muscle, 巳亥 again, blood related issue. Alright? So avoid clashes at all costs. We don't want 冲. Any kind of 冲 in the 八字, any type of clashes, especially this type of direct clashes, means very, very impactful, means something will be compromised, whether we regard the relationship or health. Like Nicole Kidman 八字, although there isn't any clash in her 八字, but when you are doing C-section birth for a baby girl, make sure that they must be able to conceive. And of course, we have a trick here. Alright? So I also discussed her in the Golden Verses online course, why she cannot conceive. Okay? Consideration number 5. I want the child to be disciplined and obedient. You know, after work, imagine you come home from a long day of work and you still have to, sometimes manage and deal with your child. And if your child is disobedient, not disciplined in the study, it can be, of course, quite a torture to the parents. And when we are looking at discipline, again, we are looking actually at Kuan. But sometimes, for certain structure of the 八字, okay, if you design it properly, like in this case, okay, this is actually one of our ministers from Singapore, Mr. Chan Chun Sing, 八字. Alright, he has this thing called the 三官配印格. So this is a very big structure, 三官配印. That's why he actually became a minister, or before that, chief of army, before or around age of 40 years old. Okay? In today's world, having a nobleman, having 贵人, is very, very important. Because no matter whether you are in school, you're in university, you are at work, or when you're doing business, you need people to open door for you. You need people to help you out. When you are in trouble, you need a white knight. Am I right? So nobleman luck or 贵人运 is extremely important. And 贵人 normally talks about resource star. Okay? Resource star. Okay? And of course, if you want your boss to be 贵人, then your direct officer star must also be positive. Okay? Or your 7 killing star must also be positive. So we want to make sure that in the 八字, 贵人 is present, no matter what. This is a must when I'm doing the baby C-section. Consideration number 7. Besides 八字, the natal chart or the DNA, I hope that I can help the baby to achieve 40 years of good luck cycles. But a lot of time it really boils down to when you come and see me, when you present to me the estimated date of delivery, can we achieve that or not? Because when the moment you came to see me is usually quite close, maybe 1 month before the EDD, estimated date of delivery. And by then, you see the year pillar and the month pillar are usually fixed already. Okay, so we are only playing with the day and the hour pillar. Hopefully, to aim for, good marriage luck, good career luck, discipline, obedience, good health. And on top of that, good 40 years at least luck cycle. Good 40 years of luck cycle. If it's possible. If not, at least 20, 30. And then, of course, we also have a technique, or rather, where should we? Imagine that you can only enjoy, due to certain constraint and limitation, when you come and see me, you can only enjoy 20 years of good luck. Do you want to put your good luck at the first 20 year, or when you are in your young adult, or when you just came out to work, or you want to put your good 20 years in the older age? So this one, I will have to also check with the parents, or rather check the parents' bazi, to see how I should adjust this thing, okay, if possible. So the best is that, of course, if you want to go for a C-section birth and you plan to have, the parts of the baby calculated, it is good that you come and see me 1 year before that. Because by the time you come and see me, it's already second timing. Second timing means you are already pregnant with the EDD more or less confirmed. Alright? Compared to first timing means we can even work backward to plan when you should make love and conceive the baby. So that we can know that 10 months down the road, whether in, say for example, 2020, which month, which day, there's going to be a superb bazi. And then we work backwards. That is not very commonly done, but I will prefer that way. Okay? Otherwise, we'll go for the normal practice, which is usually when parent is pregnant, they know they are EDD, they can look for me. But come and look for us, or look for me earlier, like at least 2 months to 3 months in advance, so that we can start to discuss. Consideration number 8, we want our children to be filial to us. You want your newborn to be filial to you. And of course, you want your child's children to be filial to them in future. So that we, this is a very holistic approach. And we usually look at the hour pillar of your newborn baby. Okay, their children palace is of importance as well, especially for women. Because we, in Chinese we say 相夫教子. And traditionally, woman's role is to support the husband, take care of the children, and when they are older, the children also needs to take care of them. So we want to make sure that their children or your grandchild next time will also take care of the mother and father. Okay, have a close relationship. Okay, we don't want to end up the parent and the child end up having tensions, stressful moments, a very stressful relationship, okay, etc., etc. And of course, if this hour pillar, it is not properly calculated, the person will also have problem in giving birth. Consideration number 9, I have also received such requests that, hey, I want to go through this bazi baby C-section, and one of my objectives is that I want to be luckier. It is doable, definitely. Alright? If, based on the EDD, okay, or even before that, you want to kind of look for me 1 year in advance, and you tell me that this is one of your plan. You want the children to come out to also bring blessing, bring luck to the parent. It is extremely doable. It is definitely doable. Okay, but of course it's not a compulsory thing for most parents. Okay, for most parents, what we want is that we want our child to be healthy, to be obedient, have a smooth sailing life. More importantly, is that way. But of course, on and off, we receive such extraordinary requests, but it's definitely doable. Okay, so just now what I have talked about are all the important, crucial considerations when I'm performing a bazi calculation for your C-section. And I also talk about some taboos or no. You see, you should not. In fact, I have heard that some practitioners have actually based on Tong Su, which is the Chinese almanac, the Chinese calendar that looks something like this, to pick and select the baby 八字. For example, probably you look at this. Today the calendar shows red. Red is auspicious. And over there it says that today is a success day, 成日. So therefore today is good to have my baby come out. This is totally wrong and incorrect. Alright? You cannot use Tong Shu to decide your baby's fortune. It is absolutely wrong. Okay? Tong Shu, especially in this context here, Tong Shu is usually used for some basic events. Alright? Like you want to choose a general good date to do something. Like in the ancient time, they want to travel from here to another town. They just choose a good date. Or they want to get married. Yes, you can use Tong Shu. You want to go to war, you can use Tong Shu. Okay? But now we are dealing with a life, a human life, and we are dealing with the destiny, the fortune of a person. Tong Shu is not designed in the first place for such activity. Okay? So be very careful. You may wish to ask your feng shui master what kind of system that he or she is using. The moment he take out the Tong Shu and flip, you have to be cautious. And I had people even coming to me and ask me, Master Joe, how come you did not check the bone, the weight of the bone for the baby? The heavier the better, isn't it? Yeah, actually there's this system. Alright? In the market, and you can even go online, there's some calculator for you. Just punch in the date of birth, hour of birth, you are able to get the weight of your bone, 几两重. And then the analysis is in a very poetic manner, in a few liner, to tell you that, to sum up your entire fortune within these few lines. So do you think this is a very robust system? Do you think it's trustworthy? And in fact, I also don't use 三四书, you know. Some people actually talk about this, 三四书, but you know, I have examined this book, I know about this book. In fact, I can also teach about how to use this book, but nevertheless, it is not used for, you know, calculating a person's 八字. Okay, yes, it can, let's say, make some deduction about a person's fortune. But if you want to use it to design a baby 八字, then for goodness sake, this is not a book to go to. So one should not pick a 八字 without basing it on the robust fate calculation system. When I say robust, means time tested, okay, has been used over the hundreds and thousands of years, and it is designed for fortune telling, designed for fate calculation. Alright, for example, 八字, 紫微斗数, or in the Indian world we have the Vedic astrology, okay, as well as classical astrology, because they are really a very robust, precise, accurate, and is designed for fate calculation. Okay. Now, after saying all this thing, I just want to tell you that actually it is a very, very laborious task to do a 八字 calculation for baby C-sec. Okay, I'll share with you why. Number one, you see, usually 2 weeks before EDD, I will have to start to check and filter out the suitable days. Okay, the moment the doctor confirmed that the baby is ripe, I can actually start to filter out the suitable days and start to examine them. Imagine one day we can actually have 13 八字permutations. And if I work 2 weeks, and if I check all the 2 weeks 八字, suitable 八字, run through all of them, filter through all of them, it will be 182 sets of 八字 that I have to work on. Check one by one. Yes, no joke, check one by one. Number 2, it is tedious because there are a lot of to and fro with customer. Like for example, after we go through a round of filtering, sometimes when you talk to client go and talk to doctor come back again with different sets of requirement, availability. For example, oh, doctor will say that, sorry, I am on leave during this period of time. Sorry, I do not perform operation during this time of hour. Sorry, I only work in the morning, I don't work in the night. So you see, so all this kind of thing is something that you have to be expecting. So based on my experience, because I've done so many, I know. And some clients, to be frank, they are not willing to pay for surcharges, which means they are not willing to pay for Saturday, Sunday, after 5, after 6. And again, that gives you more constraints in selecting a good 八字. So you start to get very stressful. Okay? So this one adds on to really the time and effort of the Feng Shui master. Number 3, after I go through a discussion with the clients, and clients go and check with the doctor, and assuming that doctor say, okay, I give you these sets of timing and dates to work with. So with the balance available dates and time, I will then again re-examine the dates to find out the best and second best, if possible, for the baby. Okay, and ensuring that, just to recap, no clashes, no chong in the 八字 with parents, spouse, children. Good marriage quality, especially for lady. Good career luck and noble man luck for both lady and man. Longer period of good luck cycle, if it's available. If they are 60 years, why not go for, if I can get a very ideal situation, I will go for it. As long as your doctor can meet my timing. No compromise on health. This is actually very, very, very important. Discipline. And discipline in behavior and study. And this one really talks about the authority star. So I will have to make sure that the authority star is good. You see, authority star has a lot of repercussion on the chart of the 八字, because authority star for woman is the husband, is also the boss. Authority star for the man is the child star, and is also the boss. Authority star is your discipline. Authority star is your fame, your reputation. Authority star talks about your health at times. Okay? Very, very important consideration. You see, most of the Feng Shui master will stop here. They will just, based on the 八字, they will just tell you that, okay, I have worked out the 八字for your baby boy C-section, and the 八字, for example, will be on the 9 October, okay, 2019, between 1 to 3 Chinese, the English hour. Alright? But for me, because I'm a teacher in astrology, especially in Vedic astrology, I go the extra mile, just to share with you, for my clients. I would later on, after selecting the best 八字, I will overlay, okay, with Vedic astrology chart, and fine-tune the birth time to 20 minutes. In fact, I can fine-tune to 10 minutes, because a very, very good gynae can take out the baby, stand by everything. When the time is right, he just need 10 minutes to take out the baby. But of course, we play safe, we give more allowance, we give 20 minutes time frame to achieve best of the best with overlaying of Vedic astrology chart. Because Vedic astrology chart is actually, in my opinion, the top most accurate, precise system in the world. Reason being because it looks at the current planetary alignment. Okay, it is more than 4,000 years old, started during Mesopotamia time. Okay, Vedic astrology, of course, is used by the Indians today, more prevalently used by them. But because I'm a trainer, I'm a teacher, I learned this, so I have this expertise. to overlay this chart with the 八字 so I can achieve the best of the best. What do I mean? What do I mean? Okay. You see, 八字 works within 2 hours. One Chinese hour, 一个时辰 is equivalent to 2 English hour. And they go by 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7. So baby Tom, born 1:30 p.m. has the same 八字 as baby Jim, born 2:30 p.m. Same, exactly the same 八字. Luck cycle as well. However, in astrology, it can be classical, can be Vedic astrology, all talking about fundamentally the same thing. There is in fact a difference in the level of fortune and destiny between a baby born 1:30 p.m. and one who is born at 2:30 p.m. In fact, they give rise to 2 different Vedic astrology chart. Okay, the ascendant will be different. Ascendant means the first house will be different. And therefore, with this difference, I want to make sure that I pick out the best of the best. Because that's my job. You pay me, and that's my job. I give you the best destiny chart. Alright? So in gist, I actually hope your child not only has a good head start in life, but also has a smooth sailing destiny path in future. Because in today's globalized and highly competitive environment, and being a parent myself, we understand that how intense is the competition outside there, and we just want to make sure that our child has a little edge over the rest, so that we do not need to be too worrisome over them. They can have self-discipline, they are self-driven, self-motivated to do well in life and be healthy. That's all I want. Okay, because if C-section birth is possible for you, then of course I will urge you to consider it. Okay, so you see, it is more competitive. This is just an article or I extracted from a book. In fact, there's a book that talks about Dragon Man. If you are a dragon zodiac sign, or you are born in the dragon year, you are subjected to even more stress and more competition. In fact, dragon men earn about 2 to 6% lower income, okay, according to this research. All right. So imagine you are born in those auspicious zodiac sign. You are going to be even face more competition in life. All right. So you can actually post any question you have in the comment box, and let me give you some announcements if you don't mind. You see, we have not many levels of 八字 program. Basically, if you want to graduate and become a practitioner, you only need to go through a 2-day semi-pro followed by a 3-day master practitioner. And we do have some specialized program like this very popular 八字 Ladies Life, 2 days. Okay, and we have one upcoming 八字 master practitioner course. Say you already know 八字, you learn 八字 from other school, we welcome you to join us, because we believe that you can gain a lot of breakthroughs in our courses. And when is this? This is 26 to 28 July 2019, this month. Time 10 to 5 in Singapore. Okay, course material provided, voice recording is allowed, and we do allow you to come back for free revision, okay? And if you have any questions about the course fee, early bird fee, course content outline, please email Mr. Lester, my program manager, at this email address. Or if you are far away from Singapore, you want to learn a bit of 八字, okay, I will recommend you then to enroll yourself online, okay, in our this online academy. The email address is www.fengshuisuperstar.com, and I will impart on you this very, very interesting segment of classical 八字called the golden verses. Alright, that means one look at it, within a few seconds you can diagnose just by looking at certain formula. And I can guarantee you not many people is teaching this, and we have received very, very good feedback. So you may wish to enroll yourself and take a look. It's only at $88 USD. Okay, go to the website and help yourself. Also, since you're watching this video, if possible, All right, subscribe yourself to our YouTube channel, because on a regular basis I'm going to push out videos not just on 八字 but also on Vedic astrology, 奇门遁甲, 风水, I Ching, etc. All right, so this is actually the my YouTube channel page. We got many videos, and I will want to add on a lot more videos for you. Okay, and there will be definitely new learning curve for you, a lot of new things for you to acquire in terms of knowledge. All right, so remember, after you watch this video, go and subscribe. Click on this button so that we can stay connected and get notified on latest video. Or you can also come and add me, okay, like me on my Facebook, all right, Master Joe Ching, or visit us at masterfengshui.com. All right, so if you have any clarifications, doubts, inquiries, feel free to email us at academy@destinyasia.com.sg, and I wish you have a good day ahead. Thank you so much for watching this video.